All right. So we're here with Sam Wagers, and we're here at the school. Why don't you tell people the name of the school
Sure.
and maybe just a little bit about it, like a brief description.
Absolutely. We are Academy of Careers in Technology, ACT. We are Cambodia's first private general technical high school and junior high.
Cool. And how long have you been operating?
We've been operating now for about 2.5 years. We started off offering just short courses for students, 3 to 6 months, and then we put them into an internship. But now we're operating, we have grades 7 to 11, and next year 11th grade will go to 12th grade.
Awesome. And you have about how many students right now?
Right now we have 31 students between all of the grades.
But you have from our conversation the other day, a larger capacity.
Yes.
So how many students could you have if you were at capacity?
Sure, we can have about 100 students here. So
Okay.
100, 120, that area.
Yeah, so we've got some room to grow. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about what happens here on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. So what our students do here, they study general education for half of the day, and then the other half of the day, they study technical skills. So they study hotel service, travel service, or digital media design. In grade 10, 11, and 12, they get to pick what skill that they would like to do. Our middle school students, they study general education. This is the first time they've received art class. They have dance class, life skills, and soft skills class also.
Wow. And what about some of your plans for the future to expand class offerings? What kind of things would you like to offer as the school grows?
Sure. So we have plans in the future. We want to teach early childhood education, sales and finance, architecture, like a pre-med for students who would like to be in nursing and things like that. And then we have some more technical skills that are like body work for mechanics, cosmetology skills and things like that also. So a lot of plans and ideas for growth in the future.
Awesome. We were talking earlier just about funding. And so, funding is always an issue for these kinds of things. And
Right.
you get a lot of your funding from sponsorships.
Yes.
From people just in your own networks and people back in the States.
Right.
And how much does it cost roughly for a student to attend here for a year?
Sure. For a year, it's a little under $600. Our school is different than the general education schools here. General education, they only study half a day, but our school is a full day program and we run Monday to Saturday. And so our students, they study a lot. It's very intensive. And since we're a technical school, we have a lot of materials that go involved. We have the computer room, the internet services, the printers, everything that the student needs to use their skill. A lot of art supplies needed and things like that also.
Yeah. Talk about your mock hotel room that
Yes.
you have. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, so we are a learn by doing school. Everything must be hands-on. So we have students who, they're not so great academically, but technically they are amazing. So we needed a space that they can do a lot of hands-on work. So upstairs we have a hotel room. We have the beds up there. They can practice their cleaning duties. We have a reception desk, all of the telephone services that they need to transfer back and forth, hotel reservation systems, everything that they would use in a hotel, we have upstairs for our students to practice on a daily basis.
Yeah, and so things like that, obviously there's an expense to
Right.
being able to set up those kinds of things and operate those kinds of things.
Yes.
I didn't ask you this, but if somebody back home sees this and they just take a liking to what you're doing, how can they support you in it?
Sure. So they can contact us through our Facebook page, Academy of Careers in Technology, or we can actually donate through Water of Life, and we can include that information later, I'm sure. But on a check or on the PayPal site, you just need to make a note that it goes to ACT school and it gets delivered to us.
Okay, so PayPal is on Water of Life's website,
Yes.
that they can donate directly to you guys
Right.
through that. So,
Yes.
and we're going to bring some literature home as well that we can make available for
Absolutely.
everybody too. You had a neat story that you shared earlier about a girl. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so we have the students who are grades 7 to 11, but our students' age ranges, they go from 11 years old up to 23 years old. Right now we have a student who had to support her family when she was younger, so she dropped out of school in grade 9, and she decided she was smart and she didn't want to just work in a factory. So she went to her family and said that she wanted to go back to school, and she heard about us and she's really interested in hotel service. And so she asked her parents if she could stop working at the factory and come study with us for 3 years. At the end of 3 years, she can go right to work. She gets put in an internship for 3 to 6 months. Most of the time they hire them right away. She can also open up her own business, or she can continue to university. So she moved actually into one of the Water of Life houses, and she became a Christian in the whole process. And her family, they were not happy that she became a Christian. So she's been going through a lot of struggles where her family said that they were going to get a divorce because of her. They blamed her mother's illness on her becoming a Christian.
And those things are not uncommon in Cambodia, right?
It's very common.
Yeah, when someone becomes a Christian, that they get
there's a lot
ridiculed
of
by their
prejudice.
family.
Absolutely. But she's decided, she made the commitment, she's going to stay strong, and she wants to finish the 3 years and said she will not give up. She told her parents, just trust me. In 3 years, you're going to see this was all worth it. So please just trust me for now. And so she's still going through it. It's not over with her family. It's a painful process, but she's really strong and she's committed to her studies.
That's good, and that's just the kind of students that you have here, and the
Absolutely.
circumstances that you deal with on a pretty regular basis. It sounds like.
Yes. Yeah. We have students from all kinds of backgrounds, gang-related, drug-related, some who their families are fine. We have some that have no family. So it's a wide variety of students that we work with on a regular basis.
And this was about 4 years in the making, it sounds like, from kind of the initial idea to the launch of the school.
Right.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about just some of the hurdles that you
Sure.
had to go through in order for the school to even be here today.
Right. So like I said, we're the first school of our kind in Cambodia. And so when we went to the Ministry of Education with our idea, they didn't know what to do with us because the paperwork for our kind of school just didn't exist. It's new. There's nothing like us. So we had to knock on a lot of doors and say, can you help us? Can you help this? We had to write a letter to the Minister of Education. We weren't getting far enough in the fight to get the paperwork. And he wrote us a letter back 3 or 4 months later that said, I like what they're doing. I want you to approve their paperwork. Please give them the paperwork. So we took that letter and we went back to the other offices in the ministry and said, see, your minister already approved us. Help us get this done. And so just for the paperwork part, it was about 2.5 years before we got our final license.
Wow, and you guys stuck with it
Yes.
because you were so committed to the idea and wanted to see it come to fruition.
Yes.
And
It's a
so
good
now
thing.
here you are with 30 students,
Yes.
a few different tracks of learning, a 10-year plan that I learned was part of the process that you had to submit, and
Right.
so kind of an idea of what the future holds. And so now, like, what are your biggest needs? Like, how can we pray for you, and how can we support you
Sure.
in what you do from back home?
Yes. So one, financially, our students, we have not turned a student away for inability to pay. So if anyone is interested in sponsoring a student, you can do that.
And that would be probably about $50 to $60 a month, somewhere in there,
Yeah, anything helps at all.
or a one-time gift or
Sure,
something like that.
absolutely. Pray that we need more space for the school as we grow, and so that the finances could come in, that we could build further. We want to add a library and a cafeteria for our students, and so we need things like that. But really pray for our students. Like I shared one story,
Yeah.
but she's not the only one.
There's
going
lots
through
of
that.
stories, I'm sure.
Yes. So pray for our students that we go through this together. Because when we take the kids on here, they're not just a student and a name on a paper, but we really invest the time in each one of them individually. And just wisdom and knowledge on how to do that and how to best love these kids and help them through this time in their life. And that they would do well and succeed and push through to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, and that's evident just in the time that we spent with you, that you care not only about just the educational or the academic piece, but that you care about the kids.
Yes.
And that they're real lives that are being affected, and so that's been very evident hearing you talk.
Yeah.
And so well, that's great. So just know that we'll be praying for you guys from back home, and would love to support in any way we can as needs come up.
Yes.
So
All right.
thanks for
Thank
taking
you
some time.
guys. Yes. Thank
All right.
you.
Signing off.